Alright, I'm back again after another regional to do another deck profile. And this time my deck actually did better than what I've done before, to say the least. Because the last couple of regionals I've gone like X4 and drop, which has been disappointing really. So I didn't really take this one seriously and I ended up doing better than I did before. And this time I took Hunters and I went 4-3-1. And I think at round 6 I was at table 12. So I was actually doing pretty good with them. And I just wanted to update the deck because the last time I did it, it wasn't. It was. I think it might have even been before dragons were out. So yeah, I figured it needed it. So we have, to start the monsters, 3 Thunder Seahorse, Searcher +1. Can't really use the deck without it, and especially since it got a reprint, you should try the deck out because you can find, I think, everything in the deck common. So there's no reason not to, and it's really easy. It's affordable. 3 Paw Hunder allows you an extra normal summon of a Maw Hunder or a Violent Prism. Maw Hunder, another extra normal summon, same as Paw Hunder, just can't summon itself. Prism. This card allows you to go into so many good synchro plays. It is ridiculous, because having a 3500 Stardust, either the regular version or Spark version, or a 37-inch Thought Ruler, or Crimson Blader, or Scrap Dragon and Highs is really difficult for any deck to really get over. So he really helps. 2 Max C, main deck, just for dragons and anything else that wants a special summon. Drawing really helps this deck a lot. So the more you draw, the better you do. 1 Honest, because it's all light. And 1 Ryo, because opening Ryo with traps hurts pretty much every deck of the format right now. Can't really beat that. 1 of the spells. 3 Duality, just for consistency, and it's up to 3, so why not? Really good, helps you get through the deck, especially if you combo it with Seahorse, because you couldn't special summon anyway if you use Seahorse. So you thin your deck by 2 with Seahorse, and then you get to choose 1 card off the top with Duality. So hopefully it sets you up for good plays next turn. 2 Space Typhoon, just back row hate, getting rid of any kind of spell trap you need to. Lance to help your big plays go off, protect your big monsters, so they don't get bottomless or mirror forced or whatever generic trap. 2 recycling batteries. Having access to Grave is really nice considering that Adverse is gone now. And this basically gets you a 1-turn play, and it can be anything from your extra deck because it gets you either a tuner back and a monster that can normal summon at that turn, or it gets you 2 monsters that normal summon each other, and you can overlay. So really helps the deck in the mid to late game. Definitely, because you can burn through some monsters pretty quick. Next, you have Book of Moon. Helps defensive, offensive. You can interrupt plays with it. It's Book of Moon, I mean, you can't get much better. And Dark Hole, just to wipe the field in case, things go wrong fast. That's it for the spells. Main deck 2 Emptiness, because kind of have to. A lot of dragons run around, a lot of things that just like special summon. And if you do run into a deck that doesn't special summon that much, like Evil Swarm, I ended up siding this out pretty much all the time versus Evil Swarm, because it's usually a normal summon, special summon, and I'd rather just have something more useful against the deck than Emptiness, because sometimes it can be dead. 2 Trapstun, they help your big plays go off just like Lance, except you're safe for the whole turn instead of just, for 1 play. So it's really helpful, really good this format. 2 Fiendish Chain, just to stop effects, easy to side out against dragons. 2 Mirror Force, stop attacks, pretty self-explanatory. Solemn, Compulse, Torrent and Omega, Constellar Omega, really good play, especially when your opponent like returns and then you flip Torrent and you have Omega on the field. You get to keep your monster and altars, go back to the grave. Yes, they can still use them from the grave again if they haven't already that turn, but they just burn half their life points. And sometimes they can't even reuse them because they're all the same dragon. That's happened a couple times. Bottomless and Threatening Roar, because I wanted 1 more trap in there. I didn't know what to put, so I just put in a Threatening Roar. Easy side target, and it can stop you from getting OTK'd. That's it for the traps. Extra deck. Cowboy, just to burn for game or get over something big. Not that I don't think I even used them once. Dweller for Mermails and Dark Worlds. Never used them once. Maestroke. Generically good. used him maybe 2 or 3 times though, so not that often. 2 Star Leech Paladinamo. This card can get over a lot. It's not a good starter card. Like if it's early in the game, you don't really want to go into him because he's really weak. And if your opponent gets something out on their turn that can get over him, they will. There's not much that'll stop him except for your traps, but sometimes you don't have that to support him. But he can get over Dragosack. He can negate its effects and run it right over, no problem. And just any any big effect monster drops it to 0, makes it easy to get over. 1 black ship, never used it, but it's good to have it. 2 Omega. Immunity from spells and traps is a big thing, especially since there's no heavy and all that kind of stuff to help you protect. That's why I run what I do in the main deck with the Lance and the Space Typhoons and Trap Stuns. So if you go into Omega, he's a 2400 beater. That's immune from spells and traps, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about it. 1 Utopia. It's Utopia. Like, you know, kind of, you don't need him, but he's nice to have. Now, the MVP of the deck right here, Stardust Spark Dragon. This card puts in work. Because if you get this combo off right here, if you get a Prism attached to a Spark Dragon, so he's at 3500, and then you have Emptiness on the field, which the Spark Dragon can protect the Emptiness, and you don't have to worry about anything running Spark over. I mean, like they Dark Hole, you protect your Spark. If they Space Typhoon, you protect the card they Space Typhoon. They need to have at least 2 ways to destroy 1 card on your side of the field to get rid of Emptiness. And that just really helps out this format. It makes the deck almost relevant in a way, like actually usable in a big tournament. Because I sat on this combination so many times on Saturday, it was a hard lockdown. And it's really difficult for a lot of decks to get around. I was playing Evil Swarms for my final match, and it ended up being a tie because it took so long. He had Key Beetle and Safe Zone out, which, if you don't know, they protect each other, and you literally cannot get around it except for Trap Stun, which thank God I drew. But he had Key Beetle and Safe Zone out, and I had Spark Dragon and Emptiness out. So we were literally just sitting there drawing cards until one of us found a way to get out of it. But this combo right here wins games all the time. And after Spark Dragon, regular Stardust, similar to Spark Dragon, he's pretty good. Except to use his effect, you have to lose your 1000 boost, which kind of sucks. But the card itself is harder to get around than Spark Dragon, because I did get Spark Dragon run over a few times by using his effect once to save him, and then he was attacked over or destroyed a second time. But most of the time, Spark Dragon was better. Thought Ruler, just to protect you from when you summon it, they can't hit you with as many things. It's good to push, and late game, if you're low on life points, you can gain a lot back and take the advantage, especially if you go into time or anything like that. Colossal Fighter gets over Crimson Blader pretty much. Scrap Dragon. It's Scrap Dragon. Destroy 1 card. The destruction's really nice, especially since you can immediately bring it back with a card to destroy if you really need to. And Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader lockdown with Stardust Spark Dragon. That was a pretty good one too. I never really used it much because I always went to Spark Dragon first and sat on that. Never really had a chance to use him, but when I did use Crimson Blader, I won. So you can't really beat it. That's it for the extra deck, side deck. 2 Veiler, just because, in case I want to swap out the Fiendishes or need extra effect negation and stuff. 2 Smashing Grounds for Boojin, which I didn't play, so they were really irrelevant. 2 Encore for Constellars, Evil Swarms, any generic Exceed deck, because not having a response to this card is just broken, so why not play it? The extra Space Typhoon, in case you run into some seriously back row heavy stuff. I usually did try and side in the extra one, because most of the times when people side, they want to add extra traps, so I want extra trap removal. Makes sense in my head. 3 Ironwall, Dragons, hurts them. No real reason to run Shadow Imprisoning. I am just not a fan of Dark Worlds, and it kind of hurts. Evil Swarm, not really, but I mean, it was good to have. It did help me against my 2 my 3 Evil Swarm matchups that I had, so I couldn't complain about it. And then 2 Gozen Match. It's a pretty good side deck card, especially in this deck, because Gozen Match stops you from summoning anything but that one attribute you had on the field. Well, it turns out Spark Dragon is a light and not a wind, like his Stardust brother. So I can go into Spark Dragon with Gozen on the field and get my lockdown again, but with Gozen Match. And I can boost him to 1,000, and I can Honest with Spark Dragon. So Spark Dragon really makes his deck a lot better. I encourage anyone watching to try it, since, you know, Seahorse is now a $2 reprint card, and everything else in here you can find common, or as a tin reprint, or as a hidden arsenal super. The only things that you probably have trouble getting are extra deck stuff, and even then, that's all staples. So there's no reason really not to try it, except for maybe Star Liege and Omega, but they're no more than $4 a piece. So I really encourage anyone watching to try the deck. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what I should change, or what you would do. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, comment, all that stuff. Thanks for watching.